Hey everybody, I've never been able to make a good pie crust, so I wanted to try this recipe that I saw on Homesteading with the Zimmermans, I think is the name of it. It's Ruthann's recipe. She typically, her recipe makes 3, so I just divided it into thirds so that I could make 2. So, but the original recipe that makes 3 is 3 cups of flour, a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of baking soda, a cup of shortening, and a cup of water. So I have 2 cups of flour, 2/3 teaspoon of salt, 2/3 teaspoon baking soda, and 2/3 cup of shortening. So I have already mixed in the baking soda and salt into the flour, and now I've added the shortening. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this in. Okay, so it's very crumbly now, which is what she said it should look like. So I'm going to make a little well, and we're going to just pour about half of it in, and just start putting it in on the water. I'm going to go ahead and put the rest in. I just want to kind of press it in. See if it's going to soak it up. I'm going to let that sit just a minute and see if it's going to soak up a little bit more. I'll get just a little bit more water in case, but I'm going to grab my pie plate as well. Okay, and now let's just kind of fold this over. Okay, we're going to go ahead and turn this out. I'm going to cut mine in half. It is soft, so that's good. My dough's never been soft before, so that's already a plus. She did say she liked hers to be a little bit sticky because when she's rolling it out, it's going to pick up some flour. I think that'll fit my pie plate. If texture means anything, it definitely feels better than any crust I've ever made. Okay, I'm going to set this aside for just a moment, and we're going to make our pot pie mixture. Okay, so I only had potatoes in a can, and they were sliced. So I took a knife and just diced them up a little bit more. And then I'm going to add a can of mixed vegetables and a can of cream of chicken. If you have fresh vegetables you want to put in, all the better. If you have your favorite vegetables you want to put in, make it your own. This is just the quick version. And then my chicken is frozen, but I always have canned chicken on hand as well. So a can of chicken. And we're just going to mix this up and put it in the pie shell. This is great with bought crust. I just get the generic. They're very inexpensive. And since I wasn't good at making crust, I had just kind of fallen back on that. But Ruthann's recipe looked so good, I decided to try again. Okay, so we will load this up. And we're going to set this aside and roll the other crust. Such a soft dough. I love it. Now if it just tastes good, and I believe it will, Oh yeah, nice. I'm going to wet my finger and go around the edge of the crust to get it to adhere. To vent, I like to put something special on it. So if once I sent one over to my in-laws and I put an initial on it, but I usually just put a little heart. Once I put a chicken head on it. So just be creative. Alright, and this is going to go into an oven that's going to be 375, and then I'll just watch it. It's probably going to take 30 minutes maybe. Just keep an eye on it. Everybody's oven is different. You just want your crust to cook through because everything else is already cooked. One other thing I do for the first part of the cooking process is I like to put Reynolds wrap around the edge so that the edges don't overcook and burn. And then before it's completely cooked, I will take this off. You can actually buy little things to put that fit, are supposed to fit on there. I did get them and they didn't fit my pie plate, so I just went back to crinkling some Reynolds wrap on. Okay, so now it's ready to go into the oven. I'll bring you back when I take it out of the oven and cut it. I'll let you know how the crust baked up and how it tastes. So it is fresh out of the oven, so it is red hot. But it baked up really well. I left the edges covered for the first 25 minutes or so, and then I let it go ahead and continue baking. So that's why I don't have any burnt edges. That's a very good pie crust. Very good. So if you thought you couldn't make pie crust, definitely, I'll put Ruthann's recipe below. Or just go to her video and you can watch it there. And also she has a link to where you can print it. But it's a very good pie crust. I hope you guys have a great week this week, and I'll see you later.